challenges in my life, just from a personal health, mental health standpoint. Ended up in the hospital following a stroke, and I had had endocarditis, spinal meningitis, and had a stroke. And so when I was brought to the hospital, I had 105-degree fever, and I was at the point that I was so sick that I didn't know I was sick. You know, mentally it was pretty tough. I'd gone through years of challenges, I guess, major life change, and before this point had some issues with chemical use, using unhealthy coping skills, I guess. And so this was kind of a wake-up call for me, but it added, I guess, another level of kind of trauma to deal with, and that was that, you know, all these things that I used to do in my life I can't do anymore, because now I've got, you know, my sternum is cracked open, I've got a heart that's not working properly, and I'm going to have a long recovery ahead of me. You know, when you go through heart surgery, you basically start at the beginning, and you can't lift anything heavier than a broomstick. And so, you know, all of a sudden here you are, like, in pain most of the time, unable to do much of anything. It's a pretty long recovery. I took about 3 years and was just spending time in the gym almost every day. I wasn't working a lot. I could handle maybe, 12, 15 hours a week at a job site, but I couldn't focus. Then just over a year ago, the heart test showed that my heart was actually weakening and in a pretty tough situation. So they gave me the weekend, and they said, we'll see you back on Tuesday. So then it was kind of starting over again. So I had a couple months of depression, I guess. That was a point where it was pretty low. And I think people go through that anyway, but it was a pretty low point in my life. I reached out to Tobias and said, what can we do? Let's start working together. He made sure that I had a letter from my doctor that it was okay to do this, and fortunately they said it was. So I wasn't sure at first. I've been told no a lot of times, but my cardiologist that follows me is actually his father is the head of Mayo Clinic. So getting buy-in from them, it was pretty cool to get to start this journey. One of the goals when I started this program, in addition to working out, was to quit smoking. I had been smoking almost a pack of cigarettes a day just because of stress in my life, and it wasn't something that I wanted to continue doing. It was expensive. I was spending $200 a month on a negative part of my life. I was isolating because of it, and it was something that I wanted to give up. So Tobias said, let's just cut back one a week. And I figured that's doable. That's 20 weeks. That's pretty easy. So I started cutting back, and I was just logging it in the journal. And by the 8th day, I was done. So what he gave me 20 weeks to do, I did in 8 days, and said, I don't need this anymore. I've got something better now. And so I think having some accountability and some structure and a plan was something that I didn't realize what a huge benefit that would be. What happened, or what helped the most working with Tobias, is that he kept the expectations simple and easy to follow. So it didn't ever seem overwhelming. It came naturally. And his style is supportive versus really pushing you. I think he allows you to push yourself by just being there, being supportive, and making you successful. So that these little victories that you have every week just lead to something bigger than the following week or the following month. And I never saw myself working with him as long as I have. It's going on a few months now, longer than I planned, but it's been something that I look forward to each month when I get a new program or a new workout. And people ask, well, can you afford to do this? I'm like, can I afford not to do this? I'm healthier, I'm happier, I'm still have a ton of challenges in my life every day, but they're manageable because I feel good about where I am from a health standpoint and decision-making standpoint, and I've got someone supportive in my corner. I think that's been one of the biggest helps for me. Well, I think I'm able to manage a lot more stress without it consuming me like it had in the past. So that's one of the biggest aspects of it. I'm able to work longer than I had been. Like I said, I was only able to put in maybe 10, 12 hours a week on the job site. Now I'm doing 25 to 30. For someone who's gone through a lot of hard things and PTSD and dealing with that, that's pretty significant. And I've got stamina. I mean, I could never imagine myself running before. So it's just more stamina and able to handle the things that are thrown at me without letting myself fall apart or fall back into or unhealthy coping mechanisms that I had in the past. Now, if I have an issue, I'll maybe spend a little more time in the gym or just go out and run off my energy or whatever. So that's been a huge help. I would just thank you. Thank you for making my life better than I thought it could be, and for helping me believe in myself again when a lot of people had kind of given up. And he's someone who never gave up, and that kept me going too. So you made a difference to me and to my kids, and that's important. Because I'll be here for them, hopefully, for a long time, a lot longer than I ever expected I could be. So it was worth it.